Picture this. You are sitting at your kitchen table, maybe having your morning coffee, and a letter arrives from the BC government. It has your name on it. It has your home address on it. And it says, you must declare your home or face a tax bill you were not expecting. You have not sold your house. You have not rented it out. You simply own it, and you live in it. And now the government wants you to prove that. If that sounds like something out of a different country, I want you to stay with me. Because this is happening right now, across Canada, and millions of homeowners, including many of you watching, may be affected before the end of this month. My name is Joseph, and welcome to Canada Pension Guide, the channel where we break down exactly what the Canadian government is doing, what it means for your money, and what steps you can take to protect yourself. Today, we are talking about a rule that is not getting nearly enough attention, the legal obligation that may require you to declare your home to the government in 2026, even if you owe absolutely nothing. Now, before you think this does not apply to you, I need you to hear this clearly. If you own a home in British Columbia and you do not file your declaration by March 31st, 2026, that is less than 4 weeks away. As of this recording, the government does not ask you questions. It does not send a warning. It does not give you the benefit of the doubt. What it does is assume your home is vacant, and it sends you a tax bill based on the full assessed value of your property. For a home assessed at $400,000, that could mean a tax bill of $4,000 for simply forgetting to fill out a form. For higher valued homes, that number climbs fast. And if you are a foreign owner or certain non-resident, the rate jumps to 3%. Meaning a bill of $12,000 or more on that same property. I want you to think about that for a moment, not because of what you owe, but because of what you could lose by not knowing this exists. And this is just one layer of a much bigger picture. So do not go anywhere, because the next few minutes could save you thousands of dollars and a serious amount of stress. Let us walk through this together. I am going to give you 5 things every Canadian homeowner needs to understand right now. And I want you to pay especially close attention to number 3, because that one is catching people completely off guard. Number 1, the British Columbia Speculation and Vacancy Tax declaration deadline is March 31st, 2026, and it applies to you even if you are fully exempt from paying anything. This is the part that trips people up the most. The BC government has designated specific taxable areas, cities and municipalities across the province, and if your home is in one of those areas, you must file a declaration every single year, not just the first year, not just when something changes, every single year. The BC Ministry of Finance confirmed as recently as February 24th of this year that declaration letters are actively being mailed out to homeowners in these areas right now. If you have not received yours, check your mailing address on file with BC Assessment, because if that address is out of date, the letter may have gone somewhere else, and the deadline still applies to you. And here is something many couples do not realize. If 2 people are on title, even spouses, each person must file their own separate declaration. Filing one declaration for the household is not enough. Each owner on that title is individually responsible, and if one spouse misses the filing, that spouse can be assessed as if their share of the home is vacant. Number 2, at the federal level, if you sell your home even if the entire profit is tax-free, you are legally required to report that sale to the CRA on your income tax return. This rule has been in place since 2016, but a surprising number of Canadians, including many seniors, still do not know about it. The CRA requires you to complete Form T2091 IND and Schedule 3 of your T1 return in the year that you sell your home. If you do not file it, the penalty is $100 for every month the form is late, up to a maximum of $8,000. And there is something even more consequential buried in that rule. If you fail to report the sale, the CRA's standard 3-year window to audit your return never starts counting. That means they can come back to that year indefinitely, years or even decades later. For any senior who is thinking about downsizing, selling the family home, or moving into a retirement community, this is not optional paperwork. It is a legal requirement, and the clock does not forgive you just because you did not know. Number 3. The residential property flipping rule is in full force, and it may catch grieving seniors or anyone forced to sell quickly. Here is the scenario. A spouse passes away. The surviving partner decides they cannot manage the family home alone, and they list the property within a few months. Under the anti-flipping rule that is now fully active, if a property is sold within 365 consecutive days of purchase, the profit is automatically treated as business income, not a capital gain, and the principal residence exemption is denied entirely. Now, there are compassionate exceptions built into the rule, including the death of a spouse, but those exceptions are not automatic. You have to know they exist, you have to claim them correctly, and you have to have the documentation to back them up. The CRA system does not know your circumstances. It sees a property sold in under a year, and it flags it. Your job or your accountant's job is to respond correctly. If you are in this situation right now, please speak with a qualified tax professional before that return is filed. Number 4. If your property is held in a family trust or through a corporation, you may have a federal Underused Housing Tax filing obligation that you do not know about. The Underused Housing Tax, or UHT, was designed to target foreign and non-resident owners of vacant Canadian homes. But the way the legislation was written, certain Canadian trusts, private corporations, and partnerships are also considered affected owners and may be required to file a UHT return using Form UHT 2900, even if they owe zero tax. Many seniors set up family trusts as part of their estate planning, often on the advice of a lawyer or financial planner years ago, without ever imagining it would create a tax filing obligation for their home. If you hold any real estate through a trust or a corporation, speak to your advisor specifically about UHT filing obligations for the 2022, 2023, and 2024 tax years. There is currently a proposal before Parliament to eliminate this requirement for 2025 and beyond, but the prior years remain outstanding for affected owners. Number 5. There is a formal process to request relief if you have already missed a deadline, but you must act immediately. If you believe you may have missed the BC Speculation and Vacancy Tax declaration deadline, or if you have an outstanding federal filing you were unaware of, do not ignore it and hope it goes away. In British Columbia, Form FN 563 is the official request to waive penalties for circumstances beyond your control. Health issues, hospitalization, a family emergency, a lost letter, these are all grounds that may be considered. The key word is documentation. You need to be specific, you need to be prompt, and you need to submit that request as soon as possible, not months later. At the federal level, the CRA has a taxpayer relief program that allows seniors and individuals to request relief from penalties and interest under certain circumstances. Neither of these programs guarantees relief, but both are far better than doing nothing. I want to pause here for a moment and ask you something simple. Drop a comment below with your province and one word: declare. Just your province and the word declare. I read every single comment on this channel, and it helps me understand exactly where in Canada this information is needed most. And if you have already received your declaration letter, I want to hear about your experience. This community is built on real stories from real Canadians, and your comment may help someone else watching this right now. Now let us talk about what you actually do, because knowing the problem is only half the job. Here is your protection plan clear, step by step. Step 1. Confirm whether your home is in a BC Speculation and Vacancy Tax designated area. The BC government has a free, official, interactive map at the address we have linked in the description of this video. It takes less than 2 minutes to check. Do that today. Step 2. If you are in a taxable area, locate your declaration letter. It should have arrived by mail in January or February of this year. It contains your access code, which you will need to complete the declaration online, over the phone, or by mail. If you cannot find the letter, contact the BC government's tax line directly to have it resent. Do not wait until March 30th. Step 3. If you are on title with a spouse or co-owner, confirm that each person is filing their own separate declaration. This is not a joint form. Each owner is individually responsible. Step 4. If you sold your home at any point in 2025, make sure your tax preparer knows about it and is filing Form T2091 IND and Schedule 3 with your T1 return this April. Do not assume they know. Tell them explicitly. Step 5. If you hold any real estate in a trust or private corporation, bring up the words Underused Housing Tax at your next meeting with your accountant or financial advisor. Ask them directly, do I have a UHT filing obligation? Get the answer in writing. That is it. 5 steps. None of them require a lawyer, none of them require money, and all of them are things you can begin today. The goal is simply this. Do not let a form you did not know about cost you thousands of dollars you should never have had to pay. If this video gave you something you did not have before, clarity, a next step, a form number, a deadline, then this channel is exactly what it is here for. Hit subscribe so you never miss an update that could affect your pension, your property, or your benefits. Every week on Canada Pension Guide, we take the complexity out of the system and put the power back in your hands. And if you know someone who owns a home in BC or who sold a home recently and may not know about these filing requirements, please share this video with them directly. Not just a link, send it to them personally, because the people who need this most are often the ones who will never search for it. I am Joseph. Thank you for trusting Canada Pension Guide with your time. Stay informed, stay protected, and I will see you in the next one.